Oh yeah, Heat. Oh yeah. Remember this little tidbit from the last time the Knicks played the Heat? Yeah, feels good. Feels real good. And what doesn't feel good is Julius Randle. Now, as of me recording this video, Julius Randle's injury is just a left ankle sprain, and I hope it just stays that way, and I hope it's nothing more or nothing less. Hopefully he just takes a few games off, rests up, and is ready for the playoffs. I don't want it to be anything else crazier. Please leave it at that. But other than that, you know, looking like the 6th man of the year conversation should probably be just about done. And then y'all know about my boy. Whether the 6 is up or the 6 is down into a 9. Those are my two favorite players. And Quentin Grimes had another phenomenal game. The young guys did what they had to do in this game. We also have to talk about another rumor that's being circled around our New York Knicks and a certain star level player. And it's funny because it's not even a rumor. It was just mentioned in a podcast slash TV show, and Knicks fans are running with it. Let's get into all of that here. But first of all, run the intro. What's going on, CK Crew? It's your boy CK2K, and welcome back to another video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Do not forget to like this video. Yeah, man, a lot to discuss. Great win for the Knicks. But before we get into any of that, we still got a sponsor, y'all. MyBookie. The Final Four has been set. We saw a crazy amount of upsets and broken brackets, but that does not mean it has to end for you out there. Just because your bracket is busted doesn't mean you can't still shoot your shot and win big, especially if you're using MyBookie. Whether you're filling out multiple brackets, betting on the eventual national championship winner, or simply looking for a player and game props, MyBookie has you covered. Now, as I said before, and I will say it again, getting started with MyBookie is very simple. Make sure you visit the link in the description below, make your first deposit, and use the promo code CK2K to claim an exclusive deposit bonus. That's right, by simply adding the promo code CK2K to your first deposit, it gets you some extra money on top of the money you are already depositing. Now, as you've already seen with March Madness, the whole tournament has been all over the place. So with the Final Four being who the Final Four is, why not go take a chance and see who you think will be the eventual winner by using MyBookie. With hundreds of thousands of prizes for March Madness and weekly blackjack tournaments, you can turn your game day into payday with MyBookie. The link, as always, is in the very top of the description below. Shout out to MyBookie. Thanks, y'all. Now let's get into last night's game, Knicks versus Heat. This game was one of those traditional Knicks versus Heat, sloppy, all over the place games, at least in the beginning. We had such a good start, so much so where it was 8-0 in the beginning, where it was all thanks to Quentin Grimes, from an easy dime to Mitchell Robinson to him just rolling off back-to-back threes, where it looked like we were just going to run away with this game. But lo and behold, the Miami Heat make the comeback that they make. Also in that first half, you saw RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and a bit of Jalen Brunson until the end of the first half. They came out pretty short in that game, but who did not come up short was the guy who just had his career night on Monday, Emmanuel Quickley. Quickley came out guns a-blazing, and he was making damn near everything he was putting up. Another great showcase for Emmanuel Quickley in a game that the Knicks needed to win for not only just solidifying our spot in the playoffs, but for the damn bragging rights. But the unfortunate news that happened in that second quarter was we saw Julius Randle roll his ankle with Bam Adebayo. He made his free throws, and he barely made it to the tunnel, as you saw him collapse in the tunnel with so much pain on that left ankle. Now, luckily, it did come out later on that it was just a left ankle sprain.
The ankle sprain looked pretty bad on the replay, so I don't think anybody's expecting Randle to bounce back quickly. I don't think anybody's expecting him to be in the lineup when the Knicks play in Cleveland on Friday. We'll know more about the severity of it probably tomorrow, but yeah, no one downplaying just how big Randle's absence will be for this Knicks team.
Hopefully, it's nothing crazy no high ankle this, no leg injury that, because he was holding on to his leg, so it looked a little worrisome. But I'm hoping it's nothing more than that long term. I know they're just going to say certain things right now, but hoping that this is nothing crazy. Now, could this be a blessing in disguise? Because a lot of Knicks fans are believing that fatigue is playing a huge factor for the Knicks right now going into the playoffs coming up, and us just here barely making it through the last remaining, 7, now 5 or 4 games left in the season. And this could be a blessing in disguise that is secretly pushing Randle to sit out a little bit so he can get his energy back, heal up properly, and be ready for the playoffs, barring that is the length of this injury and it's nothing too serious. But coming into the second half, we had a completely different looking unit. We had Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, Quentin Grimes, Obi Toppin, and Mitchell Robinson. Again, a lot of the ho-hum back and forth. We'd make a good play, but then they would immediately answer. It was like that for the remainder of the game. But towards the end of the third quarter, you saw that the Knicks were trying to make sure that we were going to put ourselves in the spot to win. We ended that third quarter in a tie, 76-76. But once the fourth quarter began, it looked like it was our game to win. So much so that Tom Thibodeau, for the first time in the history of the Knicks, left his lineup that was cooking out on the floor. What? He let them play the remainder of the fourth quarter. Mind you, that meant Jalen Brunson saw no more minutes. That meant that Obi Toppin, who probably had this opportunity to go and do something, saw no more minutes. And Mitchell Robinson saw no more minutes. I'm okay with that because a lineup that consisted of Emmanuel Quickley, Josh Hart, RJ Barrett, Quentin Grimes, and Isaiah Hartenstein was cooking. And I mean absolutely cooking. There was a period where, yes, just like the majority of the game, it was back and forth. But then somewhere in the middle of that third quarter, the defense kicked in and we were getting stops and we were getting fast break buckets along the way from Josh Hart to Quentin Grimes. It was bucket after bucket. Towards the end of the fourth, we saw RJ Barrett hit a confident three that looked like it could have been the dagger until Gabe Vincent on the other side made a shot after losing Emmanuel Quickley. It did not matter. The Knicks did what they had to do. Great ball control, great patience from Emmanuel Quickley, Grimes, all the above, and making sure that we sealed this game and we got the dub. But big win for the Knicks, 101-92. Old-fashioned brawl out between the Knicks and the Heat. The Knicks now are very safe at the 5th seed right now, but what comes next? In Jalen Brunson's first game back from the hand injury, he looked very slow. He looked sluggish. He was 5 for 11 from the field, 1 for 3 from the three-point line, did have 12 points, but you could see that there was a lot of rust. He still put in 30 minutes, but he didn't look all like himself. And that runs the question of, do we rest these guys? We have the Cleveland Cavaliers on Friday, then we have the Wizards, then we have the Pacers a few times, and I can't remember the other team off the top of my head, but we have games that I feel like with our depth and with the guys that we have, the younger guys that we have, we might be able to survive the remainder of the season without pushing guys like Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle to play minutes that they don't need to be playing. We have the depth, so I say just run the course going into the playoffs, if you ask me personally. I mean, we don't know the length of time Julius Randle is going to be missing because of this injury, at least not right now, because I'm recording this instantly after the game. But maybe, like I said earlier, this is a blessing in disguise that can help him rejuvenate, get some rest. Prior to the injury, he wasn't really playing that great. He was 1 for 5 from the field. He had 3 points throughout the entire game. And it's just, you're seeing that there's been a lot of up and down from Julius Randle in the last few weeks. And a lot of people believe that's fatigue, and myself included. So just seeing what Thibodeau decides to do going forward is going to be interesting, knowing that with this big win, and we have another big game on Friday against the Cavaliers, I don't think he sits out Jalen Brunson, and if Julius Randle can play, he most likely will play. But maybe this is the time for them to just rely a little bit more on the depth that this team has. I feel like we have the guys that can withstand a run from these teams that I named earlier in the remaining games of the season. So I think why not just let it run its course and just go into the playoffs with our guys rested up. I mean, if you have to play them in the last game before the playoffs, you do what you got to do. But I don't think much is going to change between now and the beginning of the playoffs in a few weeks. But what do you guys think? think? Do you guys think that that would be us being a little too comfortable? Do you think that we need them to stay some sort of ready for the playoffs, or do you think that they need to just completely chill? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But big win for the Knicks. We beat the Heat, needed it. We moved to Cleveland on Friday. Now, before we close this video out, I want to talk about a fun little clip that was going around social media that had a lot of Knicks fans excited and feeling type of ways. And of course, as you'd expect, you hear a certain player being tied to our team, it's gonna start a dialogue and some sort of conversations. And that is KG talking about the possibility of Damian Lillard coming to the Knicks.
Oh man, him and Randle. Listen, if Dame Lillard get to New York and does what he does in Portland, in New York, he'll be considered one of the best to ever do it. Like already. If he had 71 in the Garden like he did in the Rose Garden, come on, man, we'd be sitting up here fucking, man, he'd be bigger than life, Lord. That's what I'm saying. Ooh, Dame Lillard to New York. Ooh. Knicks fans don't even know what they'll get. Ooh. We have to go see that one. We have to go pull up.
What if they can give up quickly and some picks?
Hell no. And, you can keep the core, bro.
If you keep the core and get him, you got to give up Barrett. You got to give up Barrett and quickly.
Damn, I love quickly too, dog.
You got to give up something.
Quickly and Bones are my favorite two young guys in the league. And Tyrese Maxey. I love watching them play. They're my favorite guys.
So it was the end part of the video that really got my attention, because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you know, of course you would want to see a Damian Lillard on the Knicks, right? You want to see that. But then you got to start thinking to yourself, how? And is that what we want to do? Mind you, Damian Lillard is, if not the second greatest guard in the league. Some people might argue he's the greatest guard in the league. I'm going to let you guys have those conversations. But Damian Lillard is him. 100% bona fide him. Point blank, period. No arguing about that. The man makes scoring look easy. Would I want him on my Knicks? 100%. But at what cost? Does Damian Lillard and Jalen Brunson combo sound like a championship to you guys? I'm genuinely asking, because to me, no, it really doesn't. And at what cost does it take to get a Damian Lillard, especially if there is a world where Jalen Brown could be a Knick? We don't know how true those rumors are either, but I feel the need and the fit makes more sense for a Jalen Brown, who is also a bona fide scorer in this league, an all-star in this league, and also a solid defender at the wing in this league. That, to me, something like that makes a little bit more sense for this team. The only way, and I'm not saying this is what I want to do, the only way that this kind of a trade to get Damian Lillard makes sense for me is if Jalen Brunson is included in the deal. And I don't know if the Knicks do that. I don't think it makes sense to get rid of quickly Barrett picks or quickly Barrett, Obi Toppin and picks to get Damian Lillard on our team with Jalen Brunson. I just don't see what that fit is like. I don't understand how that works between Brunson, Lillard, and Randle. It doesn't make sense. Damian Lillard on the Knicks would be box office. I would love to see Damian Lillard in the Knicks uniform, but that was like 3-4 years ago where I felt like that dream could have been a reality. Now, I don't know how that works without swapping point guards for us to still be a steady contender. But then what? You got the team. I just don't know. I don't know. That's the part that I was paying the most attention to. I saw this, I'm like, for who and how does this work? That's how I saw this. But what says you? Twitter was going crazy. Everyone's excited. Everyone's talking about get Damian Lillard this, get Damian Lillard that. I don't know if they're thinking about the full scale things. Maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe, you know, I'm just stuck in my 2K brain thinking that I don't know how you can win with Jalen Brunson and Damian Lillard, and maybe in real life it works. To me, though, I don't see it. I would rather use those assets like those draft picks and one or two of our younger guys to get a wing or somebody that slots in and makes sense with Brunson and Julius Randle. Me personally, but what do you guys think about that rumor? I had to throw this in the video, had to use it for the thumbnail because I really want to know where your guys' mind is at. I cannot wait to see the comments for that. But anyways, with all that being said, what you guys' thoughts about all of the above? What is the importance of this Knicks win versus the Heat to you guys? Do we rest Brunson? Do we rest Julius Randle, depending on what his injury is? And Damian Lillard, Nick, realistic? Do you want it, yes or no? Let me know your thoughts about everything mentioned in the video in the comments below. Shout out to MyBookie. Make sure you guys go and check out MyBookie. Get your free money before the time runs out. Promo code CK2K. Link is in the description below. But I'm out of here. Be your boy CK. Let's get it. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. And for the people who love the live streams, the CK2K, CK versus chat live streams, stay tuned. I apologize we didn't have one this week. We might have one tomorrow. Be on the lookout in the community tab. All right, I'm out of here. Peace.
Cold pizza Tuesday. I got food up in the fridge. Y'all keep looking for that new way. I think I like it how it is.